Here we are today, bringing you some beautiful stamps from Germany. Now these are all over 100 years old. Can you imagine a little piece of paper that somebody decided to keep that's over 100 years old? Unreal. So on these first two top ones, they're both 75, but if you notice, there's an overprint on the first one. And there's a 1. I think it says 1 million. Or 1 something. Isn't that something? But they're both 75s originally. But there's an overprint on that first one. And these are all from 1920 to 1923 in this group. Then in the second row we have a 2. Then we had a 30 that got changed into a 20. See, nothing ever went to waste back in the old days. If you didn't sell enough of one, change it for whatever you might be short on. So apparently they were short on the 20s. I mean on the 30s. No, on the 20s, because it was a 30 turned into a 20. Then you have a 30, the orange, a 40 in red. That's a pretty one, isn't it? And a 50 in purple. So that's our first group. Well, let's go down to the next group. Now these are all the same, so it's a start of a really good collection for someone. And these are from 1900 to 1919. So you have your first one, that's a 2 in the black and white. Then you have a 3 in the brown and white. Even though they still overprint it, still a 3. Then they have a 5 in the green and white. Then they have a 7.5. I never understood this half thing. You know, what do you do? Cut a penny in half? I know in some days, in the olden days, there were people that did cut pennies in half. But apparently they felt it wasn't too smart. So they changed it into an 8. So there you have an 8. Then in the second row, we have 2 10s here. One is in orange, and the other one is in red. If you notice the red 10, it also will say that it's a 10 in the stamped overprint on top. Then we have 2 15s. We have a brown and white, that's 15, and then a black and white, that's 15, with the overprint of 15. And then you have a 20 in the blue and white. Again with the overprint to let you know it's a 20. Kind of different when they do that, isn't it? It's like, okay, we know it's a 20 from the corners, but maybe it was the cancellation of the stamp thing canceled it like that. I don't know. I have no idea why. But these are from the 1900 to 1919. Alright, now let's go to our third group. I always like putting it in groups of 4s. Okay, so here we have, these are from 1920 to 1922. You have your 5 in the burgundy. Then you have the 6, different design. And these are the ones that are more sort out. People want them more. Okay, then you have a 30 in the green and white. You have a 40 in the orange and white. 50 in the burgundy and white. And a 75 in the blue and white. Again, from the 1920 to 1922. Still 100 years old. Okay, and this is our last group here. And this is from 1920 to 1923, exactly 100 years old. Of course, just numbers, but that's how things were done back then. You have your 5. They're all black and white, all the same. So it's the beginning of a good collection, because there were a lot of these. So you have the 5, you have the 10, you have the 20, you have the 40, and you have the 70. All right, hope you've enjoyed my bringing these to you. Be sure to sub me, join me as a friend, and we'll bring you some more of the good old ones. Alrighty? Bye-bye now.